I started my music I discovered that I was a musician in 2008. Then my first record was in 2010. Then I became famous in 2018.
Wow. But how did you meet Kandeke? People say you're Zambia's biggest artist. Do you think you're Zambia's biggest artist?
Every day I get, I think, about 500 to 600 calls.
Huh?
Yeah, missed calls. Let's help one another, you know? You never know who's going to be there for you tomorrow. Nobody knows tomorrow.
But so far, what have you learned about marriage? And what would you say you love the most about your wife?
So let me tell you a story about my wife.
Yeah. And so how do you feel when people, go for her? Because to be honest, I feel like you guys are strong. Like, how do you feel when people go for her and they, bully and whatnot and you sit there?
I feel bad, to be honest. How would you feel if someone talks here about your wife? How would you feel? I feel bad. I feel like, I feel like I'm not doing enough to protect her. That's how I feel. All over the branch, mdala. Just one day. Singangalelelo or mailo next month, but just one day. Things will be fine. When you give me my lemon, I will turn that into lemonade. That's the kind of person I am. I'm not going to argue with you. As we believe to say it's very possible to become an international artist. It's very possible. It's very possible to fill up your stadium. It's very possible to do whatsoever. As long as you accept up here, you say, I can do this. And trust me, you can do it. Mulungu sama leta che vision yanazi walisunga kwanza. Like, you just have to accept that, to say, you'll never be on top forever. So the little time that you have, my dear, use it wisely. Invest. If it means you to investing, invest. When you decide kumvelela ija group yako but every time chikazidi na chabe, iwe ndiwo maspenda, ndiwe big buyer, So now you need to ask yourself, when are you going to invest? When are you going to take care of yourself? When are you going to take care of your family, your parents? I wanted to buy a car for her when she gave birth, but she refused. She didn't want a car. She likes something that
It's time for the big conversations, telling stories of movers and shakers, of industry giants and daring professionals. It's time for the conversations that change your perspective on life. The kind of conversations that shape entrepreneurs and move careers forward. If you don't know where these conversations are found, we are sending you a GPS. But if you're listening to this voice right now, you are here. Welcome to the Growth Podcast. This is the GPS.
Welcome to a special episode of the Growth Podcast. This is episode number 43, and I do have a very interesting guest. We are going to have a very good conversation. I hope you guys have the time. I know that you're going to make time for this conversation. There is so much to discuss. My guest is Zambia's biggest music act. Zambia's biggest music act. I know people will have their own opinions, but give me another name. I dare you. All right, so I don't need to say the name. I'm talking to your boy, Yo Maps Yo. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
How the Yo Maps name come about?
So those initials,
okay.
Like M stand for Mlenga, that's my sign name. Then A stand for Anna, that's the first name of my younger sister.
Okay,
but she's late. Then PS, that's the first name of my younger sister. Her name is Precious. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a family.
Yeah, people are like, no, his real name is Yora Maplan. Where'd you guys get that from? Where'd you guys get that from, No, his actual name is Otto. But we're happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much
The
for
first time I
me.
contacted you, I was so sure I would go back and forth, but it was so easy, and here you are. But you know what actually happened? And my wife is here, she'll testify. I had a dream that day that I was asking you to explain to me the lyrics of a song. And then you told me the lyrics of one of your songs. But then when I think when someone tells you the lyrics, so now when the song plays, you like want to sing the lyrics you're given,
Yeah.
only to realize that the lyrics were wrong. So I was like, this guy. What is he? But no, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
Like I told you, our tradition is I've got some cards here. Pick any three. They're random questions, like conversation starters, and then we will pick up our conversation from there. Just pick any three cards.
Okay. 3?
Any three.
Okay, so 1 and 2, 3.
All right, good. So there are questions there. There are 3 questions there.
Okay.
Just read out the question and answer it yourself. No, read it out loud.
What compliments do you struggle to believe? What compliments do you struggle to believe?
Akakuza muntu.
Okay, I'll answer this one later. Describe an argument you had that helped shape the person you are today. Okay. What's the best advice you received from your mother? Wow. So many advice. Be the person you wish to be, and olete mwalesa mwana wandi.
Yeah, I can see that.
Describe an argument you had that helped to shape the person you are today. Olete tenza na kandeke.
Mwezamba hapa hivi cha.
Okay, to be honest, we argue a lot with Kandeke, like most of the time.
Okay.
No, like I'm telling him, bro, we need to drop this song next week. No, we can't drop this song next week because there's ABCD. Njede boy, it's the night part. We're from your song, boy. That's from your song, you know. And I think that as yeah, it has changed a lot, you know.
The last one, there's one remaining. Compliment which you don't believe. Akuza muntu. But your maps. You look good. Ine. Like, what do people tell you that you don't believe? Like,
Your maps waina Jerry. No. Unama. Muntu wanga pa waina konjele we wala.
yeah, anyway. Yeah, those are our conversation starters. Let's get into the conversation now, Maps. Talk to me about how this whole thing started. From the very beginning. How did
From the beginning.
Yeah, this your Maps start out?
Well, it started like a dream, you know. This young boy from Kabwe who had the big dream, you know, of becoming famous and just do different things, you know. I started my music I discovered that I was a musician in 2008. Then my first record was in 2010. Then I became famous in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, so my biggest song was Finally, featuring MK Mark II, you know, so, ish. Yeah, you know, like just, you know, from 2010 to 2018 to 2020, 23, a lot has been happening, you know, yeah, but here we are.
So that period from 2010 to 2018, you're just hustling in the background.
Yeah. Like I was recording, like, you know, it was like, you know when you want to achieve something, then it's not happening.
Yeah.
Then I'll give you an example, like ulefaka girl, then kakukana, you know. Number that fukushchidia, you know. So that's the experience I had. You know, like I just want this to happen. I just want this to happen. But it took so many years for me to achieve that. And here I am.
What are the people around you saying? Like your friends who are seeing you push the music, your family, what were they saying in that 8 years of, you know, pushing to become your Maps?
You know, some said your music is whack. Some said your music is not good. You know, some said maybe ungamvek. different opinions, and so the best way is that I told myself to say, you know what, I am the best, and I will achieve whatever I want to achieve, and I kept myself going and trying here and there, pushing, and the greatest things that I always appreciate is that I never gave up. Yeah.
Were there times when you felt like giving up?
Yes. Had those times, like when you go on stage, then people back booing after you feel like, hell no. Maybe this is not for me. Maybe I should just quit and do something else, And then I go out now, got my parents, but I go out, Trevor come engineer, Trevor, like so. Who can make a doctor and go no way? You understand? So, had a very tough experience, when I was coming up. It was a very, very tough journey.
Okay, yeah. And how hard was it? Because it's one thing, like I asked you earlier, like it's one thing for a young musician who's upcoming in Lusaka to struggle. And in Lusaka, you've got countless radio stations, countless TV. You can just walk in, this is my album, this is my single, this is my, EP. You were in Kabwe.
First of all, in Kabwe, at that time, we didn't even have a radio station. Facebook was not there. So what we used to do with my friend, my best friend, this is my brother now, Kandeke. So we used to, when sewing ikasida tizaifa kamulika ka flash, then tamboenda door to door. There's a compound called Makululu in Kabwe.
Yes.
Yeah, so we used to go there. Then at that time kwariko badaba levi kenye mboma computer, bakubikira mulika memory card. Yeah, those days. So we used to do that with my friend, like twabika utuma nyimbo tufumishe, twabika mulika flash, then tuamboka ya kumakululu. Rebika, door by door, twapita mafirafi naba mikani naba milipirisha, just like that. Then whenever there's a show, we'll go there, talk to one of the DJs there, we perform, maybe bam perform shafinanga chorus baptura. Sometimes bam pusako na mapiku ya kwenu. But we didn't give up. And we kept going. We kept pushing, and we believed to say one day,
When did that one day finally come?
In 2018.
Yes, like how did it happen? Like, tell me how it happened.
So, like you've been doing certain things like for a long time, and one day, nasana. In fact, one day, nalikuwa Tom Nand, asantumi na phone. In fact, Kandeke is the one who called me. Then I was like, boy, buga kukamba hapo pa stage lero. Meaning Mark 2. So Mark had a show in Kabwe. Then he said that Yo Maps is the biggest thing. Like, while he was performing on stage. Then people started calling me now. Boy, mukamba hapo kuno. Akamba hapo. So nikutoka kwenye nzeli kuti nende kuja kushona pesa nishasira show Mark aenda. So now, ndira bani washa ulo branch. And Kandeke sanga ni now. Boy, bugenza kukamba hapo boy. Time he posted on his social media platforms. I was like, wow, this is my opportunity. So I called people like, I want his number. Then they gave me his number. I called him. I'm the one. I'm Yo Maps. Dine big man, dine Yo Maps. Mwache laka big man. I have 2 songs. So I don't know which one you're going to jump on. Then he said, okay, send the songs. Then I had to send the songs on WhatsApp. So I had 2 songs. I sent finally, and then kwali kofena imife song yakaina. Then Papi for 2 days he recorded. Then he called me. Now that kind of feeling whether ulemona maktu hakutumina. You've been pushing for so long. Then you see the biggest artist calling you. It was like a nightmare. Like it was. I don't know how I can describe it. And I answered. It was like, are you free tomorrow? I was like, Agamba, I've been free. Big man, I'm free. Okay, can you come to Lusaka? Abapeni so dangu Milo. No, Milo. Okay, fine. What time? Say anytime. Fine. I called my dad. Dad, this is what is going on. Oh, okay, that's good. But I don't have money. Kwenda kuendera ku Lusaka. So, my dad done about to me, I think it was about 700. Yeah, about to me 700. Okay, go and do your thing. So I went to Lusaka. He came to pick me up. Intercity. Is it Intercity or I don't know, City Market somewhere there. So he came with the big car, the black car. I don't know the name of that car, you know. So I was like, and he was waiting for me. I was like, wow.
He came himself.
And then I say, come, but I'm gonna die. So like, you know. So I'm gonna get motoka, you know. Papa, we drove. Like 5 minutes, I didn't say anything. I was just like, you know, I'm just like nyanga say, like, what's going on, you know? Tabotafika bond. Then I met Antinga, his wife. That was my first time meeting her. Then about saving and Sima, I'm like, is this really happening? Like maybe it's a dream or something, you know? Then after that, Tadi and Sima and Pereka studio, Tambomvera na finally manje mwana Chaila and ABCD, you know. I was just like, wow. So he gave me the song. So then when going back, he gave me 500. Yeah, transport. He had to drop me. Kwamene kwena fikira pa first. So na bwana bwera kawene pa. Kanyimbo na ka mix and nankara I think 2 months in my mixing I change you. Kwicha. So after I say that, then I dropped the song. Suddenly, the song became something else. You know, like people started talking about the song. Like, you know, there's this song called Finally. The song became famous in Kabwe, but people didn't know who sang this song. Like one minute was like, it's Maki's song, you know. And I was like, no, this is my song. You know, where you go, or in the market, and then wapeza wantualiza nyimbo. Then swak ziwa. Like, they're not even paying attention. Like, hello, ni nyimbo yanga. You know? So, then one of my friends, Kandeke, then he said, boy, I think it is shooting HIV video. Bakuone. Now, we didn't have money. You know, shooting a video. Then say, what do we do? Tend to me mda. Katumina mzmaya mangala again na music yet. Saza to pass. Tend to me mda. So we called the day. My Mvera song. It's a nice song. My even drama as a video. Okay, nizingat video. Then that time I think it was charging about 7,000. Yeah, 7,000. Then we told him, no, 8,000. Then he said, okay, tran pa shop mbumteng in drum. That's how we went with Kandeke. We got the money. Then we came to Lusaka. So, Bwera Lusaka kono, Sakira. Frank's book is the one who shot the same song. Da Muripira ndarama. So, and that's how tina shooting na music. Dimna shooting na finally. Time. Iyo nyimbo zile NBC. Time. Iyo. Then, after a month, we received a call from Copperbelt, and these people wanted us to go and perform per wedding yao. We didn't know how much we should charge. So now we're doing that. So how much do you charge to perform Fine Night? So I was telling them, well, how much are we going to charge them? Then that was a 4-pin boy. And you know, 4-pin was sakana, si cool 4-pin. So that was a 4-pin. 4-pin once na accommodation na transport. Jere 4-pin. Okay, so that to me I was like, tingatumira mobile man devina tumina number time 2 minutes 2 pin yangena tina jumpa yo day. And you know what we did? We went to a certain bar. We bought a crate of Mosi, that big Mosi.
Yeah.
You know, we were young. Trust me, we were very, very young. So we bought a big crate Mosi. We said, and then Kandeka comes up, boy. So what too much is just like that. What too much is just like that. Just imagine so now. Okay. And from there, when I got 2 minutes, no, I want you to come and perform. So how much? I wanted to say maybe 7 pin. but I was a 7-pin, I'm now in a 6-pin. But pass. And that's how everything started. And that's how we started. Then we sat down with my friend and said, you know what? I think we need to start investing. As we are getting money from these people, we need to invest. So we started when we get the money, we invest maybe to a video here and there, pangono, tamungako na tuma shows, here and there. And that's how everything started.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like a dream, eh? But how did you meet Kandeke?
So Kandeke, that guy. So, when I was in grade 12, Kandeke was in grade 11.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was at Chiwombo High. Kandeke was at which school again? That one.
In Kabwe.
In Kabwe. Yeah. Something like that. In Kabwe. School ya wenzovala kwa majacket. So majacket ya kulu. So we met at a certain studio. So one of our friend had a studio in Kabwe. So I used to go there, watch Taco record Kamoz to read it to start, So we met there. Then that was in 2014?
Yeah.
2014, yeah, that's when we met. Then, we guys said, boy, but okay, it's among the friends that I had, I think he's the only person who used to encourage me most of the times. Is ever positive. It's ever positive. No matter what people say, he's ever positive. He will come to you and tell you, you know what, me, I see different things about you. And you are great, and you're gonna be great. So those are the kind of words that he used to say to me. And so I never used to understand. So anyway, mkunkarankala. And that's how we started pushing music. Yameneja tafaka mka flash it and pushing makululu, kuchowa, different compounds. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And were there times when you thought that this wouldn't work? Because you got the break, but before that, in that 10 years, did you ever think about quitting?
Yes, I did. When you are going through different situations, where I'm coming from, they don't. As for me, the way I felt like they never used to support what I wanted to do. And when you see other people saying that your music is whack, you never make it, all those kind of bad words, I felt like maybe I'm just wasting my time. Maybe I should just do what my mother is saying, maybe I should just go to school, or maybe, I felt like, maybe I'm just wasting my time, But again, nezishena kamuntu cheka mene kakandeke chicken shafa. We boy. Iwe ndio mkali we. Iwe mkali we. We'll make it. And from that time is the only person who used to encourage me, who kept me believing that things will change one day.
Yeah. And seeing where you guys have come from, and then there was a time when people were saying, no, you must drop Kandeke, leave him, move, find someone else to manage you, for you to be international. What was going through your mind there?
To be honest, I was just like, wow. People will judge you, maybe appearance, or maybe for Alanda. And for me, we all make mistakes, We all make mistakes, but we learn from mistakes, So he's a human being. He makes mistakes. I make mistakes too, So I should not judge him based on his mistakes. Understand? Because I'm the person who understands Kandeke in and out. I know when he's wrong. I know when he's not. So it's like you're telling me to say, Mapsi, apa talent yobe first isheko, then number which take off him, And for me, that's how I felt. I was like, yeah, now, okay. Let's say Kandeke na mfumiapo. Then what's the next? because the management that I'm going to work with now, they don't really understand who the person I am. You know, Kandeke understands me. He knows me. So it's better to
A bed in hand. Two in the bush.
Thank you.
And so when now you like Vamochitika, now you're becoming successful.
Yeah.
How do you change now? How does your maps now change? What changes?
You know, as we grow, and trust me, we start seeing things different. You know, the way, like those days when someone comes to you and say, "Hey boy, tram kukolwa shanshan," you know, it used to be like you are excited, you know, because you're going to, you know, party and all that. But nowadays, if you come to me and say that, just like, huh? You know. So as we grow, we start seeing things different. Yeah, and even the way we handling Facebook negativity and all that, it's different now. Different from what we used to, you know, something, the way we respond, and now it's different.
Okay. People say you're Zambia's biggest artist. Do you think you're Zambia's biggest artist?
Well, to answer that question, you know, like we have different opinions, you know. Some might say, no, he's not the biggest artist. Some might say he's the biggest artist. But if I was to tell you my opinion, well, I am. I'm one of the greatest. I'm one of the biggest artists. If you ask me, from my point of view, yeah, if you ask me, like, if I was to tell you my opinion, yeah, I'm one of the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, there's a belief in yourself, because if you doubt, others will, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
and what goes into, like you said, you're one of the biggest artists that we have in the country. What goes into being one of the biggest artists? What really do you have to go through for you to live up to who you are? Because there's a difference. The Yomaps who sang the first song with Makitu, you know, at that time, and the Yomaps you are now. You know, what kind of person is this Yomaps we're seeing today? What goes into the work? What do you have to go through for you to continue to be the biggest artist in the country?
First of all, we go through a lot. You know, we also face challenges. You know, when you do certain things, you know, trust me, you're going to have one or two people saying, no, that's not making sense. You understand? And we respect that. You know, first of all, you need, like, for me, since day one, I've believed myself, you know, and I always have hope to say, if I want to achieve something, is better I work hard, you know, and just believe, you know, and yeah, you're gonna achieve that. Yeah, so we go through a lot, you know, yeah.
You've done a number of hit songs consistently, by the way. Of all the songs you've done, which one do you feel like this is the biggest, this one?
There are so many songs that Pick It Up.
Pick It Up?
Yeah.
That's your all-time biggest song?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I thought you'd say Try Again.
I mean, you could try again. Try Again is one of them. And okay, I have a couple of big songs, but if you and I have too many favorites.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have too many favorites. Try Again is one of my favorite as at now.
Now, yeah.
Yeah. And Pick It Up is one of my favorite at that moment. Yeah. So I have a couple of favorites.
Which song never misses at your shows? It never misses. But you see, whether you only have 2 minutes, you put it there.
Try Again. Pick It Up.
Pick It Up.
Yes.
Okay. What's the backstory to Pick It Up?
You know, there was a point when I was down, like literally down. You know, when a couple of things were going on social media. I won't say much. There was a time when drama, came online, and I lost contracts with brands. People started terminating the contracts which I had with them for shows and all that. It was a very, very difficult moment for me, at that time, because of certain things, So at that time, I decided to do a song which not just going to encourage people, but nine a foot.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what do I do now? That everything is just falling apart, And at that time, I had only 3 people on my side: my wife, Kandeke, and me. So I had to, record a song that will encourage 3 of us, which I think it did, Yeah. So that's the reason why I like that song. That's the reason why I love that Pick It Up song.
Okay. When you do a song, you go to the studio, you record a song, who's the first person you want to listen to the song to get their opinion, so they can tell you what they think about the song?
It's Kandeke.
If he says, you boy, in the missed koi.
But, Kandeke will never say no.
Everything is good.
Kandeke will never say no. Like, will never say, isikali. No. Eva kamera chat. Akabe no imvera nyimbo. Ya next. Tuyambo kushootinga this video. Ya next. He will never say no. Unless otherwise. But my wife, she's critic. So when if you are talking about something like maybe like just away from the situation that people can relate to, she'll be like, no, this is not one of those songs. I think maybe play another one. Yeah.
And then what do you do? You go back to Kandeke.
I go back to Kandeke. Wait, unataka mazinye muziki tikai. Boy. So Kandeke will come and no, look.
You convince her.
But it's okay. Then we drop the song. The song becomes a hit. Oh, okay. So, but
But have you ever had that song where you record and you feel like this song, it won't go anywhere, let me just pack it, and then people then love that song?
Yeah. Single.
Okay.
1, 2, mama you sing a chabe. I didn't. For me, it was like because I used to do love songs. So doing a heartbreak song, it was like and this one is so.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe people won't take that serious. So I was like, I packing a chap. Then Kandeke was like, boy. Just imagine I want to go 1, 2. Well, this is not a diva. It always give me that that imagination.
Yeah.
Like just imagine you want why, but they imba 1, 2. Like okay, cool. Let's drop it.
Okay.
So we dropped the song, and the song was like.
And of all the times you've performed, what has been your favorite performance? Like this show, the audience was fire. It was just giving you the great vibes. What performance was that? Like where did you perform where you felt like, if I could go back there, like kujachinali?
I think it's every show.
Every show.
I think it's every show. I don't think there is a show felt like, okay, I've not done enough.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like me, when I jump on stage, trust me, it's all about killing it. It's all about, like me, I want those people to call me again. That's
The business must continue.
Yes, the business might continue. So like if I jump on stage, I want my customers to call me again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much time do you spend in the studio? Because you told me that you spend most of your nights in the studio, so you're not a morning person.
Most of the time. Like I love music. So, I always want to be where music is. Yeah. So most of the time I have a studio at home. So sometimes we spend nights with my daughter, Tendai, in the studio dancing, being creative and, recording here and there. Yeah, so most of the time I spend my time in the studio.
Do you get like a lot of upcoming artists wanting you on their songs?
Yeah.
Like how many times do you get like I need a phone in my inbox in my what?
Thousand. Every day I get, I think, about 500 to 600 calls.
Huh?
Yeah, missed calls. Every single day.
People want a feature.
Not necessarily people want features. Sometimes people want some people calling for help. Just different situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
And earlier we were talking about, since you brought up the issue of help, we were talking earlier with my wife about there was a time that you helped out a pastor, you and your wife and whatnot. Talk to me about what inspires you to say, you know what, of all these that, come to you and say want help, what makes you say, okay, let's help this one?
First of all, you have to understand the situation that they are going through, and looking at where I'm coming from. I was not the person who I am today. I've been through that. So when I see the next person like struggling, I feel like, I don't know. It's like even if I don't have money, but I feel like I can do something. That's how I feel. I don't know. Maybe but I just feel like I can do something to help that person, even when I don't have money. So it's just one of those. I think it's just in me. I don't know. Yeah, because when even sometimes I'll get even I'll give that person. So the reason why I always want to get that and put them on social media is because, look, let's help one another. You never know who's going to be there for you tomorrow. Nobody knows tomorrow. You understand? So let's help one another.
Yeah, so that's a good way to think.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your marriage. You and I have one thing in common.
Because you work together.
No, not just that. Not
Okay.
just that. This year, in October, it will be 5 years in marriage.
Oh,
How many
wow.
years have you been married?
1 year now.
Oh, it's 1 year now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been together for 4 years.
We've been there 4 years.
3 years? 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
But so when's the 1 year anniversary?
It was on 23rd of April.
Oh, April. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What I said, we have something in common, as in, like, I think where when you get married, no, manje bazaina. You get the point?
Yeah.
Like, I'm married 5 years. Like, I'm still the same. Like, I haven't, no one can come and tell me, no, banaina, Do you get that? Your maps, that kind of thing. Because for me, it's like, I feel like that's just where my body is. I can eat, but it's just, and I like it like this.
Yeah.
Because I know that this gin in 2 years is like one hour. You get the point. This is what you choose next, it's like one still.
I think it's just the perspective of people, like obviously
Because manje, you're eating more than just my eggs.
No.
Because my eggs.
In fact, madam angatantamba pa anayesa. Apikako lumanda, chiwawa yavisaji, chani, vichani, kuseni, mzuba, usiku. In fact, kwambon forcing kudiaka 6 times per day. Vinakanga. Stinga ines.
Imagine, champ. But how is marriage? How are you finding your marriage?
If I was told to marry again, I would do so. I will do so. It's peaceful. Like, it's, back then, yale batinga wakunganda waisanga fe uliweka fya kufola file kulolela
Mambale.
Yeah, mambalesha, but nowadays you just go like everything is on point. You find food, manzi yako embekeza yokupya. I live like a king, so it's if you're not married yet, hey, you're wasting your time.
But so far, what have you learned about marriage? Because there's that thing where, like, those who are outside, you have this certain, like, marriage is like this. Then when you enter in the marriage, you're like, oh, okay. Like, what have you learned about in marriage?
I've learned that communication is one of the important thing. I used to be a bad communicator. I used to be a bad communicator. So after Nakwatira, I've learned that communication is one of the most important thing. loyalty, honest, So those, I've learned so many things.
Okay.
So many things. It just feels good. It just feels good, like you're with your family, having good time. Your child calling you daddy, just like that kind of atmosphere.
And what would you say you love the most about your wife?
She's that kind of person that I can talk to. Like when I'm facing challenges, is that kind of person I can sit down and talk to, and she will listen, and she will advise me. So let me tell you a story about my wife. I remember back then, it should be in 2020. Yeah, 2020. When things were just like coming up, like Yom Sabwe la Shabe Paja. I didn't have money. I was renting. I had one car, So when I met my wife, and so most of the time, because that time I was young. So wale wati mwenda maka nish kagero kalipaunza manje kagero. So nesa nakawa na paunza so chepa na bwera mu kubondi kabwera na keve kubondi so chabe. So most of the time mkazi wangu kabwera kunyumba za checking a festa rangana pa. Then she never used to say anything. So she would just go back. So like it's a nkankala na tundalama, like kumangaje time at mabeula papa I go, no, let's go and chill, let's go Pachikagos and all that. So she was like, so you whenever you get money you kwenda ku Chicago. So anyway, Chicago. So one day I had a deal, a big deal. Like I became a brand ambassador to a certain company, and these people were offering, I think, about 1 million. Yeah, so they gave me about 500,000. So now, when you're excited, then in my head, mwazeche like big car, moto kache, no nekache, come guys che kachiti kache, ndekariko. So I sat down with my wife. That time nishakabonga na mkazi wangu. So I was like, Exe, me I call my wife Exe, now inako something. Yeah. Then she was like, what do you want to do with this money? I was like, imotoka inifuta maningi nini. So I want to buy a Benz. Why do you want to buy a Benz? You already have a car. This motoka yifuna ukula Benz, She said, but she was like, if I were you, I would buy a plot and start building and run away from renting. So inaweza kutenga drama was 500 unopasa muntu plot je. I call. So I said, okay, no, it's your money. Do whatever you want to do with your money. But if I were you, I would buy a plot and start building my own house so that I run away from these challenges. I said, okay, cool. So she went back to school kwa men. So nabwana namba pizza manje. But manje 500 ingamange nyumba. Where you start asking yourself a lot of questions. Oh, okay. So nabwana mtumira phone. Said, okay, babe. So what do you think? What do you think I should do? So he said, you know what? Get 200, buy a plot. Then 300, use it for a car foundation. Then you start building. After 2 years, trust me, it's nyumba ya sila. So that's how I bought a plot. So we went to Lilai. Tai pays a plot. Then we bought a plot. Plot was agreed, I think, per 350. So they said, you can give us 200. Then Yasala 150, you'll be giving us like installment. So okay, cool. So we got 200, then we gave them. Then Ijasala manje, tamupanga plan manje manyumba. No, it's panga upstairs, no, what and what, debate here and there, what and what. Oh, okay. So that's how we started building. So building, pangono bajava plot wacho sam. To be honest, after a year, nabo pezeka nyumba ya sila. Yeah, nyumba ya sila. So now, after ya sila nyumba, like in the chabe, ijamka mkabo plasita,
yeah.
Ichabe na mkabo sili za mshemusho mafaka chabe malata and all that. Yeah. So for me, you know, kali mumuntu mweze kacha kabo artist. You mean funa nkukira muchivonse vilimo, like everything should be there, you know. So it's like, no. Ena mama mimi na dadi wanaba kukira mnyumba nishi, bakabofa kana vidivonse. So tenting enemo before mukati body pila 7 pin ya rentals is better 7 pin in the mathouse or cement or something. Then I sat down jale, kaza shine fest. But after some time, I came to realize to say, okay, so this person was thinking about me, not herself. You understand? Then we finished the house. Tinako kiramu ishtikabeno we plastic takibofaka na mataos. We started staying there. Vonse vinase na ishtikali mukati mwamene mtu. So most of the time when I sit down and the people are saying, no, your wife is everything, I'm just like, you don't know. I'm just like, you don't know. You don't know, you know. So that's the thing. She's one kind of person that I can talk to, and she always listen, and she likes advising. No, here and there. No, we can't. No, hey, what? Hey, Sean, you know. But which is a good thing.
I've spoken to your wife once. She called me because I'd shared a story of a guy who was working at the mortuary at UTH. Yeah. So he was working at as a mortuary attendant, you know, as a malukula. And the only reason he was doing that was because he was trying to raise money for school. So you're saying like, so he narrated the whole story about what he's going through just so, and because it was in Tamaya school. Because I was telling people, I was like, me, no matter how bad things got, I can't take a job like that. Yeah. You know, like even you, I don't know if you got like, if that's strong. Dead body accident, for me, like you know. So I shared this story, and then she called me and said, "Hi, my name is Kid. I saw the story of this guy. I want to reach out and help him out." Yeah. No, give her the number, and I'm sure she did reach out to him and help him.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she's that kind of person who likes helping people, and you know, even when she doesn't have money, but she wants to give. You know, I think that's the reason why we blend so well. You know, I think that's the reason why, because we like giving. Yeah. And most of the time, whenever I think of giving something, she's like, I want to jump on board. I heard you talking about you want to give shan. You know. So when you talk about such a thing, she always wants to jump on board. She always wants to be part of it.
Oh, that's good. Have you ever thought about having one of your videos, your music videos?
Yeah, I did. Blessings follow me.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, that's cool. And what would you say the impact has been on your wife? What impact has she had on the Yo Maps we see today, your success? What role has she played?
Oh, she has played so many roles. Like, you know, to be honest, the time I met her, I didn't have money. And right now, if you ask me, lesadi to bikago paria, you know? I'm not the person I was yesterday. So most of even the things that I've achieved so far, I'm sure you saw the house, you know, and different things, you know. It's because of that, you know, when you have someone advising you, it doesn't mean that they need to give you money, you know. Just for me, I believe knowledge is important, you know. It's more important than just giving you money, you know. And she has played so many roles in my life, you know. I never used to be the person I am today. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for her.
Yeah. And so how do you feel when people, you know, go for her? Because to be honest, I feel like you guys are strong. Like, how do you feel when people go for her and they, you know, bully and whatnot and you sit there?
I feel bad. To be honest, how would you feel if someone talks here about your wife? You know, how would you feel? I feel bad. I feel like, you know, I feel like I'm not doing enough. to protect our, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. But social media it's a different world. You can't control everyone.
Yeah.
You understand? So I feel bad, but the good part is that we are strong enough to handle certain issues, whether behind the scenes or on social media, and that's what I love the most.
Okay. What would surprise someone who doesn't know you guys about your marriage? Like, what people don't know? Like, just loop us in. Like, what would, if I knew that, oh, okay, that's how you guys are. Like, what would surprise people that they don't know about the two of you?
I feel like, for me, I feel like most of our stories and let me say our stories, they are already on public domain, and there are few things that people don't know. Yeah, and we decided, like, they have never seen our daughter's face. Then we just decided to say, you know what, we're gonna keep it in that way. For now, we're gonna keep it that way. Maybe we are going to introduce her if someone pays us. Yeah.
Remind you of celebrities. Yeah, because it's actually a thing out there in other countries. Like,
Yeah,
Beyonce's
yeah,
kids, I mean, millions of dollars, just take a photo, and have them in a magazine.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, so maybe someone will come and say, I want to use that for diapers, adverts.
Yes, and we it's better bampela something na mkulira kona mkaturu or something.
Yeah, no, I get the wisdom in that. Let's talk about your growth story. The your maps that we see today, you are coming from a point where at some point you used to be careless, you can say anything on social media. I remember there was that the trending no wakambwanga, you're eating and people are watching and people are feeling like, others are suffering, you're showing off your life. And the your maps you are today, because I've seen that now has kind of like stopped.
Yeah.
Talk to me about why that's the case.
Like I said, as we grow, we see things different. We start seeing things different. Back then, maybe because I was excited of something, maybe a little bit achievement, and now that we have grown and we see things different, and we have realized to say, no matter how much we try to make things right, there are just people who will never agree with it. You understand? So and we discovered that it's not everyone that will love us. It's not everyone. Tikagula ndeke lero tagula ndeke taifaka pa nyumba. Some people just came, bagula ka second hand. You understand? So we stopped living a life, but no, we should please this one, we should please this one. We stopped living that kind of life, because we discovered that people will always talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just realized to say people will always talk, whether good or bad, people will always talk. So we decided just to ignore certain things, and just move on. You understand? Because we believe to say, anything is possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
The song that you did, Try Again, for me, it's shown a certain level of maturity from you as a brand.
Yeah.
And I was going through the comments, and there was this guy that said, look, this video has got non-nude women or women dressed, a certain way. There's no insulting, there's no cursing, there's no what. It's just good music.
Yeah.
It's just good music. Have you read the comments of people sharing their testimonies on that song?
I did.
How did that make you feel?
I was touched. I think Try Again is one of those songs that made people come out openly and tell their story. Like what they're going through, different challenges, situations. I was touched. I didn't know that actually I talk to people through music. You understand? So that's the thing. So Try Again is a song that also encourages me. We need to keep trying. You can, sometimes life, let me say, we go through different challenges, I remember, I think last year we saw people killing themselves, suicide and ABCD, I think those people didn't have someone to tell them that, things will be fine, you can try again, you become better one day, So that's the reason why I decided to do that song, because I want to encourage young people that all of after branch mdala. Just one day. Singangalelelo or mailo or next month, but just one day. Things will be fine. Yeah.
You were telling me earlier a story about the woman in the video. Amakisoko. Oh, her name is Auntie Carol.
Yeah, her name is
I said it's Amakisoko.
So we call her Carol. So I called her and I wanted her to do just doing the acting part, and she didn't listen to the song. So she was asking me, but ni nyimbo bwanji? No. Tizakumbesana so nyimbo yakaenda after tikasiditsa. So she did everything and everything was on point. So after song ya boy achoka, then she called me. She was like, do you know that you're telling my story? And she was like, this is my story. I've been through this. Why should I news? I was like, I didn't know. For me, it's just like one of those, it's just like a song, Even in nyimbo inchita courage, in pasa courage, Yeah. So yeah.
And people have labeled you as the Olios. The first time they called you that, how did you feel, Mr. Olio?
I was like, nangai Olios ya Chicago. Me, I'm that kind of person. That when you show me like when you give me my lemon, I will turn that into lemonade. That's the kind of person I am. I'm not going to argue with you, but I will turn that into lemonade. So if you come with your negativity, trust me, I'll turn that negativity into positivity. So you might think maybe you are hurting me by saying all those names and all that. I'll change that, So and I think that's what people should start doing. Like you should not take offense when people come with negativity. Just try by all means to embrace that. And protect yourself, protect your peace. Just protect everything about you. Because as soon as you start debating and doing back and forth, then you are just wasting your precious time. It will be better for you to use that precious time for something that will add value to your life.
Yeah, I like how you guys just embraced it. Like, we're the Olios. The Olio Kingdom. And
yes.
Because of
as we
you
speak,
choosing...
Oreos is the company now.
You're serious?
Yes. We are opening Oreos fashion.
Olios fashion?
We are opening Oreos butchery.
Eh?
Yes. Yes. I'm sure you saw Yo Map Sausage on social media.
That was real.
That was real.
I thought it was a joke.
No.
Or what about the Daka thing I saw?
That's not. That's business though.
It's an opportunity.
That's an opportunity.
Okay,
That's the thing. So me, when I see people like when other people say something about bad things about other people, then they take it as bambakulila, and all that. No. You don't have time for that. The only time you have is to make sure you achieve your dreams. That's all. That's the only time you have. Wake up, praise God, do what you have to do, work hard, believe, and trust me, you're going to achieve your dreams.
That's the motivational speaker, my guys. And then also you've sort of been like branded as the international artist and whatnot. Yeah. Tell me about how is it going? Like you trying to break into the international market?
Well, so far so good. They say one step at a time. We can't Steven Gachitika had, hey, now I'm watching in the video now and all that. No. So one step at a time. So we are trying our level best, and we are pushing, as we believe to say it's very possible to become an international artist. It's very possible. It's very possible to fill up Hero Stadium. It's very possible to do whatsoever. As long as you accept up here, you say, I can do this. And trust me, you can do it. Mulungu samaleta che vision yanazi watsunga kwanisa. Sanga kupase vision mulungu yanazi watsunga kwanisa. No. He knows. So for him to give you that vision, that imagination, he knows that you will accomplish that.
Okay, and you mentioned the heroes thing. We're talking earlier about that fill up. How did the idea for filling up heroes come about?
So it's a crazy one though. So I was coming from SA with my friend, and so like about to land, then we saw Hero Stadium, like Mulimu Mwamba, then we saw Hero Stadium. So I was like, you know what? It would be nice one day to fill up Hero Stadium. Then the guys were like, yeah, I like the idea. I like the way you're thinking. I was like, since we did Showground when we launched Commando album, it was very successful. Then we did Music Club, it was very successful. Then why can't we do Hero Stadium? Then the guys were like, yeah, let's do it. And that's how we started. Who are we going to work with? Okay, what do we need? We need ABCD. What's the budget? So we started putting everything together. What's the budget? So Tankara Tapapisa budget it's about 3.5 million. Then we started putting everything together. We started calling sponsors. We started calling people, to jump on board and everything. So far, so good.
So far, so good. Because I saw you guys had sold out the 50 quarter tickets.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm so very but also, what does filling up heroes really mean for you? Because some people think it's just a PR stunt, because you only that no, they can just fill it up. What is the real reason behind you saying, you know what, let's do this, let's dare to dream?
First of all, it means a lot to me, and I believe it means a lot Zambian music as well. I don't think there is anyone who has done this before, and because we sometimes I feel like we judge ourselves and we think like that is impossible. Nobody has done that. I don't think you guys would achieve that. But you know what? Everything is possible. We can achieve that as long as we work together. That task is very simple. We work together and we achieve that dream. It means a lot. Trust me, it means a lot. It means a lot to Zambian music. It means a lot to every artist, every Zambian artist. It means a lot. Because I'm not going just to be the first and last. But after me, I'm going to fill up Hero Stadium. Or maybe more than 60,000 capacity. You understand? Maybe next time, Zafuna manje 80,000, 100,000. So, for me, it means a lot. And away from that, I want to build a music school. And the reason why I want to build a music school, the reasons are simple. Looking at where I'm coming from, the challenges that I had, I'm sure you can tell, you can bear with me. From 2010, I became famous in 2018. I believe that, I'm sure you believe that there were a couple of challenges between 2010 and 2018. You see, those are the challenges that I don't want these young artists to go through. So I want to build a music school that will help young upcoming artists. Those who want to learn how to play violin, piano, guitar, just to maybe to understand how to manage an artist, for example. Those draw, but yeah, those guys could draw zangati tapani they're not making anything. So I feel like if we do that, that is going to help a lot of people. Not just for me, but everyone. So that's my dream. Ene ngana sana kula viskulira yapo na music limbit na lekano market tinastana return.
But how are the other artists showing up for you to help you fill up heroes? Because I know that the music industry, you're not alone. You know, all these other acts who are really trying to help you pull a crowd. How is that working?
You know what? I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful that all the Zambian artists are showing that support. And trust me, they said themselves, that this is not just for me, but for Zambian music at large. You know, because I'm not just trying to achieve this for me, but for everyone. So they are on board. Talk of Dan Kaya, talk of Slab D, talk of Market 2, Bobby East, J Cash, like different couple of Zambian artists. They all came together and said, you know what? We like what you're thinking, and we are going for it. So I'm grateful for that. You know, I didn't see that coming. And you know, it shows that there is something that we are fighting for, and there's unity, you know, and love, you know, and that's what we need in entertainment. Yeah.
All right. Just a reminder for those that may not know, where are the tickets available?
You can get the tickets at any ShopRite.
Or any shop
outlet. Yes.
So yafifite kwacha yanasira manje kuyazinga
apa kuli 100 kwacha 300 na 500.
Okay, so 500 is like VVIP, right?
VVIP, yes.
Okay, and earlier we talked about your mom, like not believing in music so much.
Yeah.
You were telling me a story of the time that she met your lawyer. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's a crazy one. I have so many crazy stories. Yeah, okay, for me, I understand that, parents will always be parents, they always want to see their children doing fine, they always wish the best for their children, So I understand why mom was like, music, ukamafe thug, ukamafe kupepe fiamba, ukamafe kustashan, I understand that. But the thing is that, now she's a number one fan. Olonga baleta mapati valantu mina. Ture mitamba patres TV hapa nomba, Yeah, those are good people. And so there was a day we got a deal somewhere. And so mom was coming to Lusaka, and then I was supposed to go with her at my house. So I was like, okay, let me just finish this Kama deal. We signed the contract, then we'll go home later. Yeah, so my lawyer came. Now, lawyer wanga ni mzungu. So now she came through, and then I was like, mom, meet my lawyer. This is my lawyer. She's like, so kash lawyer wen mzungu. Jerry, what do you mean? So you inafula shinga, mpera shinga mpya. I was like, no, but okay, this is good, huh? This is good. And yeah, it was just one of those. And yeah,
and you mentioned how supportive your father was, because you mentioned he gave you the 7,000 kwacha for the first music video that you did.
Yeah.
He gave you transport money to go and meet Market 2. And now you announce on social media that you're building a house for your parents.
Yeah.
Talk me through that process of you saying, you know what, let me build. What really happened was, let me just go ahead and invest in them.
First of all, if let me say, last year, I told myself to say, if I was to appreciate certain people, I would appreciate these three people. Number one, my parents. Number two, my wife. Number three, Kandeke. These are the major people who stood up for me, who fought for me. These are the people who can even take a bullet for me. So I was like, how am I going to do it? These people are proud of me. Not because I'm making money now. Not because I'm ever on their side. They are proud of me because of who I've become. So I was like, okay, who do I start with? okay, let me start with my parents. So we started, you know. They have been there for me, you know, even when things are going bad, even when you see this drama going on social media, they always call. Come home. Come and refresh here. We go home, maybe I go with my wife there. We stay there maybe 2 days or 3 days, you know, we refresh. You know, I'm just advice here and there. This is how we're supposed to live. This is how we're supposed to stay. This is how we're supposed to communicate. ABCD. We come back. You know, they have been there since then. So we started, you know, just like that. And I was like, okay, my wife is one of that, is one of kind of person when it's work on the, like, buying. First of all, I wanted to buy a car for her when she gave birth, but she refused. She didn't want a car. She likes something that something that can generate money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the kind of things that she likes. If you buy something that will withdraw money from her, she'll be like, you know. So when I decided to buy a car for her, I didn't even tell her. Because I knew that so I didn't even tell her. So like, okay, fine. I'll buy a car. It's 1 year anniversary. So I went ahead and then bought a car. Then I just did like a surprise. She was happy, excited, you know, and all that. Then, so I've done two. You know, my parents and my wife. And now kwasala kandeke.
Mugwenche kandeke. Helicopter.
Yes. So kandeke, it's a surprise. Boy, it's a surprise, and I don't want him to know. In fact, I didn't want him to know that there's even something coming. You know, so these are the three people that I feel like they deserve everything.
That's a very big house, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a very big house. Na mbuzi zenda wanazonse zija mbuzi na
you know, kai vamamina that didn't bakonda vama farm, you know, those are farmers. Yeah, so they have pigs, they have, you know, goats, they have cows, you know, all those stuff. So it's bakonda vo lima koma cabbage, like different stuff.
Yeah. I know you mentioned that you're doing a little butchery and whatnot. I wanted to ask you, we've seen most artists like you know, come on the scene, like you're big, and then, you know,
yeah.
Then, you know, like the next generation. So you find most of them become destitute. Yeah. Like, no, your maps, but I know your maps or your maps, I don't think I'm your maps, I don't see that. What are you doing to ensure that your future is, like, you know, set right now when you get to these deals and all this music, you're at the top of your career now? Yeah. How are you ensuring that the future of you, your wife, your family, your children, you're not going to suffer even though you stop music?
First of all, number one, you need to understand that fame fades. That's number one thing. I'm not going to be on top forever. You understand? That's why we had been a chameleon these days. We had those people like big artists, you know. So you just have to accept. And you have to face it. Like, you just have to accept that, to say, you'll never be on top forever. So the little time that you have, my dear, use it wisely. You know, invest. If it means you to investing, invest. Do something that even after that time, after that moment, you'll be able to maintain, as, you know, whatever feel, like mbokula lo mbako wantu and all that, mbokula kushoba. You know, because for me, what I know is that the same people are clapping for you today, they might mock you the other day. You understand? So the thing is that you need to understand, fame fades, so protect yourself. If it means to invest, invest. Do something that will sustain you for a long period of time.
Okay. And to the young upcoming artists who want to reach the level you are at, what should they be prepared for? Because others just say, but what should they prepare to deal with?
Wow. They need to prepare themselves mentally, physically, emotionally. they need to work hard. They need to believe. They need to put God first. Because trust me, mu industry atu muliko kajelas kaja, you know, and jeje mwamvera chat no artists nzikwaso wanamfakira poison mu wamake amwandi just like that. I'm sure you saw what happens to who is this who will play out to
Mwepu.
Yeah. You know, and it's just that people don't talk about it, but I'll say it. You know, in our industry, there's that kind of jealousy, you know, and we just need to be very, very careful, you know. So know what you want. They should know what they want, and because when you become famous, the responsibility becomes bigger. You know, you find that time. Like I'll give you an example. Time Pena Bonamveka, you know, had this group. You know, this group. Nija check group yako yachatika kutumira kuseni boy so lero zaenda ku club ya so bitch tikai kulimakala jojo kujaziva ka, you understand? Then there's this group start telling you, no, me I can manage you better, me I can do ABCD for you, me I can do ABCD for you, you understand? Then there's the group, another group yanona kula na heavy yona bwana heavy, they'll tell you no uzo avoid hapa hii iso hapa hii iso hapa shita so. So that moment, Bambi Indepa no mapangira mistake. So when you decide kumvelela ija group yako what every time chikazidi na chabe, iwe ndio maspend, ndiwe big buyer, you know. So now you need to ask yourself, when are you going to invest? When are you going to take care of yourself? When are you going to take care of your family, your parents, your kids? Let's say every day, every day. I'm not saying cheat is any problem. No. Once in a while. I do that with my wife. I think you always see whenever I go out, I'm with my wife. You know, once in a while you go, Charita, it's kind of fun, yeah. You understand? Once in a while, Charita. But you need to understand that, you know, time, sima buera kumbuyo. Time yenda kusogolo. So don't waste your precious time. Make sure you do what you think is the best for you. Chapwa. So they should believe. They should put God first. They should never forget where they're coming from. Balandati, ira bridge watoroka. Muhito ba bridge because one day mukafa kubwerera. So mukeza pitasha anpari bridge ya mwato. You understand? So those are the words that I can, you know, give my young upcoming artist.
Okay, I was going to ask you to give 5 advice, but I think that's enough. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. But also, what happened with the hair? Like the hairstyle. Tell me what happened.
Well, I'm an artist. Come on.
Yeah, no, I know you're an artist, but like, what inspired this particular style? Like, what inspired? Did Madame just come and say, baby, I think he's a Kwamida?
Okay, you know, I'm a weird person. Like me, if a person guns will get a para, man.
You see, again, when you do para, someone will come and ask you, but why para? The same way I'm asking you why, like, what inspired this particular, you know, because otherwise you could have said, that's like a pafu, or that's actually, you know, but you chose something like, what happened? Like, Madame just, and what was Madame's first thought? Did you surprise
Madame
her?
was just like, I think she was the one who was like, maybe I think you would look good if you do dreads.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, for me, I take that as just, you know, being as an artist, you know,
Yeah.
like being relevant is more important, you know. So next time, because I'm gonna have to be a para.
No, thank you so much. Anything you'd like to say to your fans, those that have consistently showed up for you, when they hear there's Your Maps show, they'll use their last money to come and support you. Those guys that know the album has come out, we are going to stream, and they take you to those 100 million streams, and they always show up.
Yeah.
When people talk bad about Your Maps, they go and defend, and they always believe in you.
Yeah. Hey guys, I want you to know that I love you so much. And thank you for everything. You know, you guys, you've been amazing. You've been supporting Your Maps' music since day one. And this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Yeah, so keep doing what you're doing and keep supporting Zambian music, not just your mops, but any other Zambian artist. And yeah, and we keep pushing until twafika kule kwenye kutrefo kufika.
Gafia Jama, we try again.
We try again.
And we'll see you at the Hero Stadium.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for coming. I know you're very busy, but the fact that you came, I mean, just shows that you have a story that had to be told. And I feel like now people see you differently.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I think where I don't just see the music, but I know where it's coming from. I know the story.
Yeah.
So
that's the
thank you
thing.
so much.
Like, for me, the way I see it is that everyone has a story to tell. You have your own story.
Yeah.
Although people might not understand or know where you're coming from, but I believe that everyone, trust me, we have a story to tell. Yeah. But it's good to share stories, so that was like, okay, okay.
No, that's good.
So, before, when you olopapemuni chita judge nishimuzi wata, but okay, team chita judge you muntu achoka patati, yeah.
So your parents will be there at the Heroes, right?
Yes. They're coming.
Look forward to seeing them.
See.
Mugaite pa stage kabili.
They are. That's the thing. They are the one introducing me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we are bringing everyone. My in-laws, they are coming, and everyone. My kids will be there.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's the one to live for. That's the one to live for.
Yeah.
No, all the best, man. We wish you all the best. And in the future, I'd like us to have, Madame here, so she can also tell us, from her side.
Aside of.
Yeah, and also just to like because also the stage where you reach, people will look up to you in everything.
Yeah.
They look up to you in marriage. They look up to you in talent.
Everything.
They look up everything.
When you cough, just the maps and akosomole bwino panje. Zofuni kokosomola njirazo.
Yeah, no, but thank you for your time. All the best.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Cheers.